Part of wildlife photography is using a long lens, and if you can afford a large prime lens, you get fantastic results. They're a joy to use until you have to carry them around. Then they're big, they're bulky, they're heavy, they're very awkward. Fortunately, they come with a rotating lens collar, or at least they usually do, and you can attach a strap, a sling, or a neck strap to those collars. You can see here I've got some clips to take a peak design neck strap on my rotating collar. They're at a point that enable the lens to be kind of balanced when you're walking around. However, if you own one of the new STM lenses, the 600 and 800s, the only place you can put these connectors are on the camera, which means that the lens hangs straight down banging against your legs, because these 600 and 800mm STM lenses don't come with a rotating lens collar or lugs. It just has this stupid hole at the bottom to which you can attach a tripod screw. You can attach an Arca Swiss plate to the bottom of the lens. That gives you a good mounting point on a tripod, but that isn't a solution for attaching a neck strap. You can also get lens collars for longish lenses, but you have to attach these to the camera body, and they don't have any neck strap attachments. So they're out of balance, they're not good for long lenses, and they don't have the neck strap issue solved. So I decided to do something about it. What I have here is a strip of aluminium. I used a cut up yogurt container to fit over the lens to get the approximate diameter that I needed, and I used a plumbing fitting to wrap the aluminium around it. Once I had the strip bent to the right size, I cut off the excess with a hacksaw. At this stage, I'm not worried about having a perfect circle at all. I just need the right diameter. I then used my vise to make sure that the ends were closed and touching together, because we need that for a clean join. With that done, I wanted to bevel the upper edge a little, just to create a valley for the solder that I was going to use to have somewhere to grip and hold on. So I just used a flat file just to bevel the top edges slightly. The next step is to join them together, and for that I used my trusty benzomatic torch and some benzomatic brazing or welding rods. It was surprisingly easy to get this to work. It didn't take long to heat up the ring, just maybe half a minute or so, and then just apply the brazing or welding rod to the join, and it melted in really quick, filling up that little valley that we had created with our file. I'd like to apologize to anyone who actually knows how to braze properly. Once it was cooled down, I drilled a hole on the opposite side of the ring from the join, and I was able to put a tripod mount screw through into my Arca Swiss plate. You may notice that I've got the plate mounted back. This is to place the circular ring in a place ideal for balance. You can see the little tripod screw I've used here. I also drilled two small holes close to each other so that I could loop through my Peak Design nubs ready to take the neck strap. If you're not using a Peak Design, then you may need to make something a little different to take your neck strap. Once it was done, you can see from this photo that it was perfectly balanced for what I need. The lens isn't pointing straight down, so it's not going to whack against my legs, and the top of the camera isn't going to fill up with rain or snow. The front element is also protected from the elements. I also put on an extender. You can see here that now the camera is lying horizontal, so if I'm going to be using extender, I need to move the balance point closer to the camera. Now keep in mind that this is working because I have two threaded holes in my Arca Swiss plate, one for 1/4 inch and one for 3/8. If your Arca Swiss plate doesn't have those threaded holes, then you need to work out a different system or buy a different Arca Swiss plate. This one is a Kirk Swiss plate, which is ridiculously expensive. You can get them just much cheaper on Amazon. Finally, I'll just spray paint it matte black, or maybe I'll use some camo gaffer tape to cover it up so it doesn't stand out like a sore thumb. Now this solves the carrying problem. Having those peak design nubs on the camera body is a real pain. I've had them get in the way of my focusing and shutter operation, and I just hate having them on the camera body. It also has the whole camera system completely unbalanced, with the back of the camera pointing straight up, ready to gather rain, snow, dust, whatever on your LCD screen and your eyepiece. This system puts your neck strap back where it belongs, and it makes carrying the whole system so much easier. I hope you've enjoyed this cheap $20 solution, and let's all get out there and take some pics.